Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. Today I want to look at a modern release known as Death's Door from Devolver Digital. Now, I remember when I first saw previews for this game, I was really intrigued because it looked like a beautiful Souls-like game with a lot of Metroidvania elements, and it marries the genres together in such a beautiful and fantastic way, and it has some really great theming as well. You play as a crow who works for this Reaper agency. You're essentially the Grim Reaper, and you go around collecting souls. You've been told that getting souls has been more difficult lately, and there's been some troubles going on, but you're tasked with getting a giant soul. I believe it's what it's called. A really large soul that's really important to get. And you go and collect that soul. Once you finally beat it, you are approached by another crow, a much larger crow, that steals it from you and runs away. And you are tasked with getting that soul back. Since it's your assignment, you can't do anything else until you retrieve that soul. And since the crow that took your soul is gone, you have to follow after him and try and go collect the things that you are missing. So in order to do that, you need to go collect other giant souls. You need to go and beat these boss monsters, essentially, and get through these different areas in order to reclaim that soul and get your job finished, essentially. Crows are unable to die while they're in the other world. Once they go into this world, they can die, and they go back to the bureau that they come to. So if you die, you go back to the essentially the hall where you're assigned these jobs to go out and collect these souls. And it follows the same structure as a Souls game. You go out and you kill minor enemies along the way. You gain more souls as you beat them. You get these sub-bosses and boss monsters that drop a lot more souls, and you can upgrade your character to improve your role, like your dodge invincibility frames, your speed, your attack power, all of these things. You also find weapons and equipment along the way to help get you through different areas and get you past certain obstacles. So this game is very much a Metroidvania. You'll have only like one area you can explore at the beginning, and there'll be lots of stuff that's blocked off because you won't have the right equipment. And as you continually gather your equipment, you can come back and mop up things that you've missed along the way. This game is really, really fun. There's tons of secrets to uncover. It's quite challenging to find everything. If you're going for 100% and get all of the collectibles, it's actually quite challenging just to find them on your own. Even with a guide, some of the things that they want you to do is really, really quite difficult. But it's very, very fun. If you've played Tunic, this game is not too dissimilar from that. There's a lot of similarities in this one. I quite enjoy the combat in Death's Door. Everything about it just screams a Souls game. You have melee weapons that you use to attack. You can dodge roll out of the way. You have some ranged weaponry as well. The more equipment that you pick up along the way, the more fun the game becomes. Upgrading your character is essential, at least for your first playthrough. Being able to upgrade your guy and make him stronger and give you more speed is vital to being able to get around the various combat challenges that this game presents. Each area is very unique with its own unique boss. You have a very woodland area. You have like a swampy area with a frog boss over there. You have spiders in that first area in the woods that you'll go after. You'll have the other like more humanoid, I guess. You're not technically a human, but you're a humanoid crow. You'll find more humanoid enemies there. You have tons of different places to explore. And again, as you get this new equipment, you'll unlock new places. You have stuff like a hook shot that lets you grapple to different areas that you weren't able to get to before. And each weapon that you find gives you different stat boosts. So if you find like a melee weapon that gives you more damage, it might be slower. So you have to weigh in the trade-offs that you like. You might have less range with certain weapons that are fast, but you might enjoy that speed. This game is all about timing. If you are not really good with your combat timing, you will die. It doesn't matter how fast you are at dodging things. If you're not smart about when you're attacking, you're going to lose focus and get overwhelmed, or you're going to lose to enemies' attack patterns. This game is all about learning timings and learning how to take advantage of the weapons that you have and the situations that you have. It's really brilliant, honestly. From start to finish, the combat in this game is fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I played through this one twice. I don't usually start a game right away after I finished it, but this game was so intriguing, I had to play through it a second time. If you're going for full completion, you do need to complete playthroughs. The second time you have to go through with the old umbrella. You have an umbrella that you can pick up that you can use as a melee weapon. It is half the damage of the base weapon that you get, I believe, and you can't upgrade it throughout the whole thing. So you have to beat the entire game with just this umbrella, which sounds hard, and it is, but it's really, really fun. Once you've beaten the game one time through, you know some strategies that you can implement to kind of get around some of the combat scenarios and figure out how to utilize your positioning much better. And so my second playthrough, I did just the umbrella. You have to make sure you don't use any other weapons, and getting that trophy was really satisfying, but it made the game significantly harder. This game is already pretty difficult, but if you're going for that extra challenge, I highly recommend it. It's very, very fun. There's tons of secrets to unlock, like I mentioned earlier, tons of just hidden Easter eggs and stuff, little things that kind of spice up the lore of the world that you can find. And if you get all of the collectibles of certain things, it unlocks more like post-game stuff for you to do or some extra bonus content. The story is really fantastic as you progress through the thing. I won't spoil the story, but as you progress toward your ultimate goal, you learn things about the world, about the bureau that you're working for, about these souls that you're getting, and about death itself, because death is a person, like an actual being in this world, and no one has seen him for a long time. So you get to learn a lot about this world just by playing through it, and by exploring and finding these extra things, you get to learn more about the lore. And I found it incredibly intriguing. I don't know if I'm giving this review a ton of justice. It's been a little bit since I've played this game, but I loved it so much, and I remembered that I played it. I knew I needed to talk about it. This is a brilliant Metroidvania Soulsborne. It marries the best of both worlds. It's really intriguing. It's really gorgeous. It's a fantastic game to play. I played it with my daughter. She really enjoyed it. It's a little bit violent, but you can do things like turning off the blood, so it's just very cartoony. It's a really fun game to play, whether you're playing with your kids or playing it by yourself. This is one that I highly recommend, especially if you like the genres that I mentioned before. Death's Door is worth all the time you want to put into it. If you just want to do a single playthrough and you don't care about collectibles, it's still worth your time. The combat alone is so much fun and so rewarding, and it's very punishing, so if you're not good at it yet, put more time into it and you'll be able to figure out the game and what it's all about. I gave Death's Door a platinum rank, easy. I loved this experience and I actually kind of want to go back and play through it again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.